What's up everyone? Today I want to talk about trading in Path of Exile 2. So if you're a new player or if you haven't played a Path of Exile game before, you might not even be aware that there are two trading systems in the game that it doesn't even show you really. There's a auction house system where you can trade materials, so like all the different orbs and things like that you're finding, you can trade with other players, so you can get the ones you want and give away the ones you don't want. And then there's also a way to buy and sell gear, which is built into the game that again, it doesn't really show you. So I wanted to go over it fully today so that while you're leveling, you can sell good gear that you find and you can buy stuff that better helps your class. And you can also get the right materials you want so you can upgrade your character and craft the things that you need. Okay, so first let's talk about the currency exchange. So once you finish the main campaign, so once you finish Act 3 and you unlock Cruel mode, so 1 to 3 Cruel. So when you're like here, Act 3 is over, you start Act 1 again on Cruel mode, you gain access to the currency exchange. But it doesn't really explain that to you or show that to you. So every single town will have a person that lets you access the currency exchange. In the first zone, first act, it's the person that's like under the cover, under the tent. In the second zone, it's Risu over here. So just talk to them all and one of them will say currency exchange. This is basically a place to trade gear, trade materials. So if you look in here, you can say, I want, and then you pick the item you want. And then you say, I have, and then you pick what you have and you trade the kind of the materials you want for the ones you don't. So you can see here, like there's some are rarer than others. So like a divine orb is very rare. An orb of alchemy is pretty rare, whereas like an orb of augmentation, I've got like 230 of those right now. So the ones that are rarer, you need more of the non-rare ones to trade. So I'll show you an example. Say you want a divine orb, right? No, say you want, so we're going I want, and then we'll put divine orb. And then I have, let's say chaos orb. The rate there is 6 chaos orbs to 1 divine orb. So the market ratio of what people are asking is, and you can see here the stock of who's got what, is 6 to 1. So if you wanted a divine orb, you would have to give up 6 chaos orbs. Okay, now this is really important while leveling, because while you're leveling, you might not be too interested in crafting and upgrading gear, which is what these are for. They're for adding affixes, changing like magics and rares and that kind of thing into different items, right? That's what they're for. But while leveling, you might not be too interested in all that. But what you do want to be interested in is these. These things here are called jeweler's orbs. And what these do is, if you open your gem slots, you can see here, gem slots start with 2 slots. So they start with the ability to put in 2 support gems. But with jeweler's orbs, you can add an extra gem slot. So you can go up to 3, 4, and that kind of thing. So one thing you might want to trade for while leveling is if you go onto here and say, I want, you might want to get these lesser jeweler orbs and maybe even a greater jeweler orb. So these will give you from 2 slots to 3 slots, and these will give you from 3 slots to 4 slots. So say you wanted to get some of these jeweler's orbs, you wanted to get one and you wanted to start upgrading your gear, you haven't found any from drops and you want to start upgrading. You would click lesser jeweler's orbs, I want a lesser jeweler's orb, and then you'd put 1 in here, and it would tell you the market ratio right now is 220 to 1 for exalted orbs. Let's say you wanted to trade chaos orbs. It's 1 to 1, it's 133 to 1, the ratio, which means you could pretty much get a lesser jeweler's orb for a chaos orb. So let's say you put this in here, 1, place order. There you go. We've just bought, I'm just doing this, but I don't need one. I'm just doing it to show you. You can now get a support gem with 3 sockets. So if I take this, put it in my inventory, I can now go in, press G, and I'll go for, I don't know, say Arctic Armor. I've only got 2 on there. You would right click this, click your Arctic Armor, and now you've got 3 slots to put 3 support gems in. Just like that. So that's something you can do while leveling if you're not planning to use all the other materials. You can do it the other way around. You can sell stuff, but it's based upon what people want. So say you were buying these jeweler's orbs and you wanted to trade transmutations. It says no stock because people don't want it. People don't want to trade those 2 items right now. So yeah, that's something that you should definitely look at while leveling. And then at end game, it's really important when you're trying to craft like really good piece of gear and you're just getting unlucky on drops. You're getting loads of one thing and not another. You can trade them up in here. So yeah, that's the exchange. Definitely something to be aware of and really handy if you start using it early. Okay, so that's the exchange. Now let's talk about actually buying and selling specific equipment. So say you're leveling and you're trying to find an item that's got really good stats that you need and you can't find one, you can't craft one, you're just struggling to get it. Well, you can just buy it legitimately from other players through the actual exchange. It's not some dodgy website. It's on the official Path of Exile 2 website. So let's talk about that now. Okay, so if you go on the official Path of Exile 2 website, so let me just get it up here. If you go on the official website, this is just pathofexile2.com. And if you go on this, there you log in the top right. So there's this sign in, you log in and you log in with whatever your account is. And then you click trade. You click this trade button and you'll be taken to the Path of Exile 2 trade. So here you can literally search for any item in the game that you need. So say, for example, you're looking for, let's use the scepter example. So you can go scepter, you're looking for a scepter that is rare, which is probably what you're going to be looking for. And say you're looking for, you're level 60, so you're looking for something around level 55 to 60, you would go add filter. Say you're looking for spirit on this gear, you'd go increased spirit percent, and then say you're going minions, plus level of all minion skills. Something like that, that's what you're looking for. You'd go search, we've got a scepter here for 42% increased spirit and +1 to all minions. We've got +1 to all minions and 58% spirit. And then you can do additional filters and searches and stuff like that. And then say you find one that you want. So say you find one, it's got +2 to minion skills and 33% increased spirit. And you say, I really want that. That's really good for my build. Perfect level. It's going to really help me progress. You can see here the price, exact price, 1 exalted orb. All you have to do is it says if they're online or not, and you can filter to make sure everyone's online, and you just click direct whisper. Pressing that button will instantly send a message in game to that player. So it'll instantly send a message saying, I would like to buy, and it names the item. So it'll be the Gnarl Stoic Scepter. I would like to buy this item. It tells them where that item is in their stash because they have to list it first. It tells them where to go and get it. And then all they'll do is they'll invite you to a party and trade you it. It's really fast. They'll do it so fast. I wish this was in-game. I wish this was an in-game auction house, to be honest. It would be a lot easier. But the site itself and how you trade is actually really, really smooth. And it's nice that it's an official site. You don't have to like link yourself up to some sketchy third-party website. So yeah, it's pretty good. And it's, something like this is going to help you level a lot easier than 1 exalted orb. And then on the flip side, when you're at endgame and you're getting loads and loads of drops and you're getting loads of things that you can sell, you're actually making lots of things that can help you make better weapons and armor. So yeah, overall, that's how you trade. Now let's talk about how you sell items, because that's probably the most confusing thing that we're going to talk about. Okay, back in the game, let's talk about selling items. And I will say, if you're liking this style of guide, do consider subscribing to the channel. And if you want to come hang out live, I'll link my Twitch down below. But let's get into selling items. So the main problem with selling items that is going to be confusing, or is probably why you've never seen it, is because it's related to the stash tabs. And I'm going to do a quick talk about stash tabs first because it's pretty important. So if you're brand new to Path of Exile, you'll probably have these 4 stash tabs here. And these are what you get just for having the game. There are extra stash tabs that you can get from the store, from the in-game store. There's one for your gems that lists all your gems all neatly. There's one for your materials, the ones that we were talking about earlier, that puts them all in little buckets and groups them all together. There's one for like essences, things like that. And you can get them all from the store. If you've bought them in Path of Exile, the first one, then you'll have them in this one anyway. So yeah, you just go into the microtransaction store and you go store, stash tabs, and then all of the different stash tabs will be there, like the ones I've just shown. They don't cost a lot, and if you've purchased the an early access package, you'll have a bunch of currency for that store already, so you can just use that. That's what I did to buy an extra one. But basically, you need to buy a premium stash tab, which is probably the cheapest thing on the store, and that gives you one of these. It gives you a green tab, which sounds silly, right? You can see here it's got a little diamond because it's a premium one. But the thing is, if you right-click these tabs, you can see here, this does nothing. If you right-click a premium tab, it has a thing here called public. If we click this public, each item individually priced, and we click this, now this tab has turned into like it's like I've opened a market and I'm selling things from this market. This is like my sales tab. So once you've done that, you can just start selling stuff. So say you're running around and you're finding items. So I don't know, let's say I haven't really found anything I want to sell right now, but let's say I was going to try and sell this random chess piece. You would take it to your premium tab, you would put it in here, and you would right click and you would say exact price. For example, I want to sell it for exactly one divine orb. Let's overprice it. Let's say you were going to sell it for 1 divine orb, and you press yes. You can now see when you hover over it, it says exact price, 1 divine orb. Now, I mentioned when you were buying an item, it would whisper the player and say, I want to buy blah, 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 blah. I would get a message now. I won't, because no one's going to buy this. I would get a message saying from a player, I would like to buy Entropy's Guardian Help Mantle in stash 5 top slot, something like that. That would tell me the item they want and where it is. So then I would come into here, I'd grab it, and I'd go and give it to them, and that's how you make a trade. So as the seller, once you have this these tabs, it's very, very easy because you already have all your stuff here. All your junk is in your in your stash. So all you gotta do is move it and check a price on it. It's very easy. The only effort is on the buyer really, because they have to go externally to look for it. So yeah, that's pretty much everything, man. That's kind of like trading and selling. Again, I wish more of it was in the game. I wish there was a full like auction house, but you know, we do with what we can. I also, you know, it's annoying that there's that barrier of entry that you have to buy a stash tab to get involved with the selling side. But luckily with the early access, most people do have a little bit of currency, and you could probably get like 3 or 4 stash tabs with that if you bought the basic pack. So yeah, that's it. Like I say, if you like this style of guide, do consider subscribing, following, that kind of thing. If you got any other questions about trading, if anything didn't make sense, ask in the comments. But yeah, I'll stop rambling. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.